Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to the Distinct and Jovial podcast. My name is Dom, and unfortunately, I am not joined by my wonderful co-founder, Jerry. He unfortunately couldn't make it due to external factors, which at some point we may go into in the future, but he can't do it. So I thought, you don't want to listen to me be on my own again for another podcast. So I had to think, and I thought, I need to find someone who's sophisticated and funny and can be entertaining
but they were all booked up.
But they were all booked. Chat Stevie T wasn't available, so I got Hooper instead. Hi Hoops, how you doing?
Hello. Well, as you can probably tell by the bags underneath my eyes, I am very tired right now.
Yes, we'll go into it a little bit. Why
Yes.
Hoops has been though a new busy man, shall we say?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So before we go into that, it's the 28th of February. It's 8 p.m. It's not a leap year, which means that this needs to go out in 10 hours' time. Yeah. It's episode 57, and as always, the views on this podcast are our own and don't represent anything else that we represent, such as our companies that we work for or societies that we're part of. So your disclaimer has been said this time, and not interrupted by Hooper.
Yeah. I think I'm on my best behaviour because you've got to edit this tonight. So yeah. I'm going to try not to say things like or anything like that.
You bastard. You utter bastard. Those are the only ones that I will give you for this one.
Had to do it once.
I'll only give you those ones. No, it's all good. So, Hoops, gonna tell us what you've been up to and how it's all going.
Yeah, I haven't been on the pod for over a year now, I think. I think, what was it, December 24?
December 24.
Was the last one? Yeah. So in that year, my son was born in January. So he came 2 weeks early, so it wasn't too bad. Unexpected. We weren't really ready. Literally, we had friends come round on the Friday, and we went out for an Indian, and then we had the baby shower on the Saturday. Went out for a meal with family on the Sunday. Warts broke on the Monday. Was delivered on the Wednesday. Yeah, it was mad.
My question would be, as a parent, would you ever feel ready though, even if it was all dead on time?
No. I kind of like. People always say, like, "Oh, you're never ready," and I'm like, "Well, you've got to be like, there's got to be like a status of ready, right?" No, the fucking isn't at all. Not in the slightest. Your whole life just gets turned upside down, but for the better, obviously, absolutely for the better. And by the way, I'm looking down because the monitor is down here. I am on baby duty tonight, so. If he wakes up and you see me run away, or if you're listening to this and it goes dead silence, that's because I've had to run away, because his sleep isn't great at the moment. But had a son was born, diagnosed with ADHD, been made redundant, got a new job, and celebrated his first birthday.
And that was 2025.
Yeah. A lot happened. Had a few mentee bees as well. I think just through exhaustion and what have you. But yeah, it's been an eventful year. Put it that way.
It's always good. From my perspective, it's always good to see you, Hooper. You know how much I appreciate you. But I think what I love about kind of that journey is, I mean, I still remember when you got your first job moving away from the company that you mentioned earlier that we right. And I remember you coming up to me and going, I don't know if I can take it because it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I remember that
It was
conversation.
mad.
And I'm always proud of. I'm one of these people that like gets excited for other people's success, and I've always been proud of just watching you. One of my favourite memories, however, was with your wedding when you came down to the
Star Wars.
It wasn't the Imperial March. Everybody, Hooper's not that
No.
person. I can't
No.
think of the title of the song off the top of my head.
New Hope.
New Hope. That's it. Yes.
Yes.
And legendary.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. No. I remember that day because you were the first person I came and told. Because I'd been keeping that. I don't think I even told anybody about the interviews.
No.
Like, I'm one to blabber my mouth to anybody. Like, I can't keep a secret for shit, but I kept this a secret. And I remember like they nearly 3 times my salary in that one job, and like I'm not one for money, and I've come to learn why now because of ADHD. ADHD like brings a lot of like issues with money and impulsivity and things like that, and to think that my life was going to be completely changed, but it was definitely a challenge I was ready for, and to anybody listening, if you're not in the local area in Somerset, there's not a lot of opportunities down here for technology. Bristol is becoming a bit of a tech hub at the moment. They are rising now, but generally to get out of there, and remote wasn't really a thing back then.
No, we are talking like 10
2019.
Yeah, we're talking more than that, I think.
Yeah, it was. Remote wasn't really a thing. So, but yeah, it was life changing, and never looked back, really.
Yeah, and success comes with that. And for me, money is a sort of like means to an end, right? And I'd imagine you're probably in this situation where you can now support your child, you can support your partner, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly. It's I hate money. I honestly, I do hate it. Like, I've always hated it. You either think you've got enough or you don't have enough, and I still think that now, by the way. So anybody listening, like, I still, like, if my wife says to me, oh, we need to buy this, I'm like, oh, can we afford that? Is that something we can afford? Do we have the money for that? I've got, like, we do, like, but yeah, it's just, I can't get my head around money. Oh shit. My light's just turned off.
I can still see you, so it's okay.
Hold on. No, bear with me 1 second. I have an adapter. I'll be back.
Shall I keep this flowing, right, and just
Yeah.
do that? While Hooper's got wireless headphones, so he probably can hear me. I might not be able to hear him. What I am going to say in this very much pause, which is going to annoy a lot of my friends, as an FYI, I lost the game. I'm sure you lot are going to really appreciate that, coming and listening to this podcast. I get to have my fun with the podcast, and that's what I demonstrated with the previous one was, here's what I'd like to do with the podcast, and here's what I can do. Aha, there's light again.
We have light. It was on the battery, but now I've just had to plug it in. But fuck you for losing the game.
Oh dear. So yes, no. Money is a strange concept, and things like that. And I'm looking forward to the day that we have something like universal basic income type thing come in, and people then can do the jobs that they are actually good at, rather than where they necessity to survive because the job they're good at doesn't pay enough.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, like, I'm not obviously rich in any shape or form. We live comfortably, 100%. But with that comes a lot of emotional burden, because you're always like, right, I've got to keep this level of salary coming in because I've got to support my family and I've got to keep the household running. And when I got made redundant, just trying to find a job that gave that kind of money was difficult, because nobody wanted to pay that anymore. Things had changed. AI had made a massive difference, that actually people are, well, we can actually use AI to source a lot of what you do, so your value becomes less in a way. But luckily I found a really decent job that Oh, I fucking love it there.
Nice.
Love it
That's the really important thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to go into mine in this podcast. It's going to be for future, but finding something that you enjoy, I think, is just as important as being able to make the books balance. And one of the things that I've really noticed from my time is that being able to set the right boundaries and settings for that while also doing, bringing in enough money is always important. And you can't wish for a life with no problems, like, because you will always have problems, whether that's I don't make enough money or whether that's I've got surplus money and have to do something with it, right? It does bring different kinds of problems, all complications, and it's some problems are easier than others, I think, is probably the best term to put it. So, yes.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. But when you do a job that you love, it's still a job, by the way. That the whole cliche of, oh, you never work a day, and you're still fucking working. There's still targets you need to hit. There's still like processes you need to go through. Like, we all know how difficult procurement processes are, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Trying to get something fucking through. But this is when you feel like you're in the right place. I think that's probably the best way I can put it. Is that I've got that feeling of I'm meant to be here. I'm meant to be doing this job.
Purpose. You feel like full like Matrix with Agent Smith. Like, what is your purpose, right?
Yeah.
and there are times absolutely where coming away from work and feeling like I'm the robot from Rick and Morty that goes, your job is to pass butter, is absolutely soul destroying. And I think that feeling like making progress, and I wasn't going to go too much into it, but one of the things that I'm doing now, and Hoopy, you're allowed to laugh at this, and so's the world. So I've bought a diary. It's just a norm, not like this day I fancied this person, right? No, not that type of diary, as in like a dated diary, like 1st of January. And it's got nothing in the future, right? All I'm doing is I'm writing what was well in that day, what I did in, what successes that I made in that day. Even if sometimes that's, I went to the frickin' gym and I played video games for 12 hours, done.
Yeah.
And it's really been really helpful for me because over this last kind of month, like, I've done so much DIY bits and pieces, but some of them are really small. And then what would happen is I'd do a bunch of DIY and the house would be a tip, but I'd go through and I'd meticulously clean all the tools. And speaking of which, I don't know where my crowbar is. Where did my parents put my crowbar? Just suddenly had a thought.
Sorry, hang on. What DIY are you doing with a crowbar?
Well, today I used the crowbar to remove the blocks of concrete that were sat underneath the shed to try and do that. Okay. And I've just suddenly realised that I didn't put the crowbar away, but I didn't see it in the room, so my worry is it's still outside. I'll have to go and get that. Your dad
has gone on a rampage around your area.
All that, he's stolen my crowbar, which I'll be quite upset because it's one of the most useful things that I've got.
If you see in the news that a man with crowbar burgles 10 houses in one night.
Fortunately, he doesn't live in Somerset or Dorset where I am, or Hampshire. He's in Wiltshire, so it's okay.
Well, that's a good cover-up story.
My mum will listen to this and she'll be like, "We put your crowbar back." I'm like, "You bloody didn't. I don't know where my crowbar is. I'll have to go find that later." Anywho, but like, even writing down that I took some time to clean the tools, to get them back to working operation and they're not going to rust and stuff like that, I think is to note down that success has really made a bit more of a positive impact on myself, as well as deleting all social media and removing the news and all those types of things.
Yeah.
And that's what I do at the moment as I go back through that at the end of each day, or even during the day. I just write down something that happens. And doing that while at work when I'm not feeling quite as, what's the phrase, like, am I doing something productive? Sometimes it's to write down and go, actually, I had 7.5 hours of meetings that took up the whole day, but these were the really important conversations and these are the progress that we can make.
Two things I love about that. One, you've gone analog, which actually I've seen a lot of people starting to do, is move away from digital and go more analog to kind of isolate themselves from a digital world. Two, I don't know if it's the same thing, but in therapy, we called it a thought journal. So exactly that, where you write down what went well, what didn't, and also if you have certain thoughts, you would write them down immediately, and what triggered them and stuff like that. But yeah, thought journals are definitely good, because also, if anybody's like me, you fucking forget what happens.
Yeah.
And you think, I don't know what I was doing last week, but you can just look back and then you can see what was happening, right?
Yeah, 100%. I've done the good and bad before. I try now to just do the good, because I'm default glass half empty. I don't need to think about the bad. My brain's already doing that. Let me go and actually look for what was the good things today. I could go and find 30 things that were bad about today, right? That's easy. That's in there. But so what I'm trying to do is trying to train my brain to look at the good things. One other thing I wanted to just very quickly, I was reading an article just before we logged in, which was about AI and the AI effects on workers' psychology, which I'm starting to get really interested in. I'm really leaning into the psychology side of things. And there is a new term. It's called AI replacement dysfunction, AIRD. And it's basically the constant fear of losing your job could be driving symptoms ranging from anxiety, insomnia, paranoia, and loss of identity, which can manifest even in absence of other psychiatric disorders or other factors like substance abuse. And it's basically where we're being told AI, and people are starting to feel anxious that they're eventually going to be replaced, and it's having a psychological effect on the workforce. So.
Interesting. See, this is probably one of my biggest pet peeves with AI is a lot of people don't realise that a lot of these LLMs that you use, like ChatGPT and what have you, gets its source of information from Reddit.
Yes.
So let's just put that into perspective, people. Like, the anxiety is coming because it's getting a source from Reddit, which is a rabbit hole in itself, but also can be a very dangerous rabbit hole.
They said that about 40% of Reddit posts these days are bots. So it's just bots reading bots nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way the world is going. They are saying that there's going to be more bot traffic than there is human traffic in the next 5 to 10 years, which, don't know, not sure. Not sure if human behaviour is ready to change that quickly yet, but we'll see.
We'll see. Right, let's do this blindly ranks. That's what we're going to do. I think this will blow your mind. I think this is right up your street.
Okay.
And
it's a pizza. It's a pizza.
No, it's a little bit more complicated.
Okay.
And it's going to invoke some conversations because it's about jobs.
Okay.
So, I have on my list 10 completely made up jobs about problems in the world.
Okay.
Problems or things in the world. And I want you to just rank them, blindly, not knowing what the next one is, depending on how much you would like that job.
Okay,
even just for a day.
Right, okay. Nice. So, I like this.
It might invoke a bit of a discussion about what the job entails, but this is just so good. So, job number 1, Chief Crisp Texture Analyst. Study the crunch, acoustics, and structural integrity of crisps.
Huh. I mean, I do like crisps.
And there's 10, so you've got 1 to 10.
7.
7. Role number 2, Global Meal Deal Architect. Design the perfect supermarket meal deal. Now, whether you can come up with the perfect supermarket meal deal is a question there.
I'm going to put that slap bang in the middle, and the reason is because it's not really something I'd want to do long term. But the 2 things I would do: 1 is bring the fucking price back down. For one, I think I bought a couple of meal deals the other day, £9 for 2 meal deals, and it's like, when the fuck did it get to that price? And 2, actually put filling in the sandwiches.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if anybody's noticed, but they're getting less and less, and they're getting more dry as well. Like we had a meal deal, and then I had to put mayonnaise in it from the fridge because it was that fucking dry. I'm like, I shouldn't be coming home for this to put mayonnaise in my fucking meal deal.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it in 5 because they're the two things I'd do, and then I'd fuck off.
Yeah. I think what I've also found before is I've done it before where you've gone to see, you look at the sandwich and you can only see a section of the sandwich. You open up the sandwich and only that bit of the sandwich is like filled, and you're like, the back half is spread.
I tell you something. We went to so we've just come back from holiday. We just went to Beer Regis for a little bit of time, and we went to the Tank Museum.
Yep.
And like, I'm not shitting on anything here, right? But they need to really evaluate their bacon sandwiches. It was the saddest thing I have ever seen in my life. £4.50, and it was like 1.5 bits of bacon that was a little bit too undercooked, and a very sad roll.
Not what you need. What I find ironic about the Tank Museum in Bear Regis, which is only sort of 20 minutes away from me.
About Monkey World?
It's like next door is Monkey World.
Yep. Planet of the Apes ready to happen.
Yeah. That is genuinely true, folks. Yeah, in Bear Regis there is a Tank Museum, and about 2 miles down the road, if that, is Monkey World. Yeah. And it's only about half an hour from where I currently live, which is wonderful. But yes, they're both pretty impressive places to go.
Oh, amazing places.
But yeah, it does feel
and
ironic.
If you do go to the Tank Museum, when you buy a ticket, it is valid for a whole year. So you can go back as many times as you like. Because we went yesterday and we went back today because wasn't. So I've said his name. Can you?
I'll cut that out. Yeah.
Thanks. He wasn't so keen on the monkeys because, I mean, he's only one. Like, they have to really be moving for him to be interested in them. So it was a little bit boring for him. So we went back to the Tank Museum, and he loves it because he could just like walk around. And we went to Fleet Air Arm Museum as well, like a couple of weeks ago. His favourite thing was licking the wheels.
You do the things when you're one.
Yeah, this kid will literally lick anything.
You wait till he gets married and the stories that you can tell at his wedding.
I know. I cannot wait.
Oh dear. Right, number 3, and I think this is one of the jobs that I would really want. Okay. Senior traffic light behaviour analyst. Explain why traffic lights are timed wrong and how you'd fix society with them. I think, because I can see all of them, I think out of all of them, this is like number 1 for me.
I'd probably have to go the opposite.
Really?
Just because 2 things. 1, it sounds pretty boring to analyse that. 2, what would we moan about on Facebook? Like, this traffic light isn't working today.
If you fixed all traffic lights, nobody would have anything to moan about.
Exactly. Like, oh, this traffic light stuck on red on this road. Like, nothing to moan about. And 3, the council won't have anything to do, apparently.
It's really interesting because I think that I'd be... I have looked at it before, and there is a study behind it. I think I'd be great, not necessarily traffic lights, but just as a general road planner. Because the amount of times that I go into a place and go, who designed this junction? They need their head beaten with a stick. There's a bit, honestly, right? It drives me nuts. They took out a roundabout and added lights to every single roundabout. But if you go out of the ring road in Jovial to go to head south towards Dorchester, you come out from like the Bluebell roundabout and you come across, and first of all they've got a roundabout which goes off to the cart gate, which is circular and then has a lane through it. Now there is one that's close to me as well, but the lane through it goes like at a right angle, and I'm like, why don't you just go around? Anyway, okay, fine. It apparently needed it. That's 2 lanes and then merges into one, and then it goes past, and then it comes to a crossroad which used to be a roundabout but is now a crossroad junction.
Yeah,
and two lanes go to to the right if you come from that roundabout to head towards the A36 towards Dorchester. A36, A37, A37 towards Dorchester. And you turn right at the crossroads, and it eventually merges. And then it goes back into 2 lanes, literally 50 metres later. Not even like half a mile, 50 metres. And I'm like, did nobody just think that you could put a sign, because then it climbs up the hill, and up the hill that road can go straight over to go towards the A37, or it could turn right to head to go into like the south villages. I can't remember what it's called. Tinternall and things like that, I think.
Yes, and Chinook.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you could put a sign like at the bottom of the hill and say, get in this lane to go that way at that roundabout, and get in this lane to go, and then they could just and you just think, did nobody think?
Yeah.
Just nobody use a bit of their brain cells. But
let's go one better with that, Dom.
Yeah.
When they have gas, electricity, water, all doing roadworks at the same time on different roads, and shut all the fucking roads off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who decided to do roadworks over here and shut that one, and do roadworks over there and shut that one? Just like...
Or it's the one where you see like one road, they've dug it up because they're redoing the waterworks, and then a week later they're digging it back up because electricity needs to get under it. It's like, hang on a minute, you've just wasted resource doing this.
Did nobody spend 2 minutes and think of planning this? Like, come on, people.
Yeah.
But the traffic light behaviour analyst you'd put as a...
Yeah, 10, I'm afraid.
10, fair enough. Domestic appliance psychologist diagnosed emotionally instability in kettles and washing machines, or in particular printers. Like I said, I had some fun just making up complete crap, by the way.
I think 9, because I think there might be better to come.
Okay, maybe. It depends on whether you hate all of these. Toilet roll orientation compliance officer. Audit households and issues fines for putting the toilet roll the wrong way around.
2. 2. I am very passionate about overhang, not underhang.
Interestingly, someone showed me the reason why it needs to be underhang, and it might interest. It's more if you've got pets, and less so maybe children. But people have a habit of spinning things.
Right.
So if you spin a toilet roll, when it's over, it unravels. But if you spin an underhang, it just loops round. It doesn't unravel.
Well, it depends which way you spin it.
Well, yeah, if you spin it upwards, then it will unravel, yeah. But the natural habit of something smaller than a toilet roll and reaching up and spinning it is that way, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that kind of makes sense, but it's overhang. let's not beat around the bush. It's overhang.
So the 6th one, this one's probably for Jerry. Ghost room allocation specialist. Decide which room ghosts prefer and why.
I actually quite like that one. Actually, I'm gonna put it in 8.
Okay, that's very low. Yeah.
Even though I like it, I think that stuff scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a very good reason to not put it there.
When I can't remember where I was going. I had to go to Heathrow for some reason, but it was a stupid early flight, so I stayed near the airport, and it was like, I didn't know this when I booked it, but it was like the oldest pub in England or something, or the most haunted pub in England that I was staying in. I slept with the lights on. I'm not ashamed to admit, I slept with the fucking lights on. Yeah, apparently the story was that they used to have trap doors at the end of the beds, and they used to tip people up and go through the trap doors, and then there's like barrels of oil, like boiling oil that they used to go into. And apparently the souls never left. And I was like, I am sleeping with the fucking light on. I should not have read this.
Pretty grim, that.
Yeah.
I was expecting some like fun Wallace and Gromit contraptions to get garroted by trousers.
Toast popping up.
One of the best. Well, I always thought, like, because obviously it was a braces on, but landing feet first through trousers, surely you're just going to garrot yourself enough up the crotch, aren't you? Which just be painful.
That's true. Yeah.
And then you get where it pops and forgets to pop the toast doesn't come out, so he just gets hit by a spoon.
Maybe Wallace doesn't have a penis.
It's made of plasticine, he can do what he wants.
Yeah. Maybe it's just smooth.
You've been playing too much with the Barbie dolls. Oh dear. Number 7, and this is quite a broad job role. Social etiquette reformer. Remove pointless rules from society. Or add them, I think, in some cases.
Well, I don't like the word reformer to begin with. So remove pointless rules. Can you give me an example of a pointless rule?
Well, this was the thing, right? So I'm trying to think of let's have pointless society.
I know that you're not allowed to go into like a court with a fish or something like that. That's still a law.
So things like dining etiquette, waiting for everyone to be served, even if your food is getting cold. Forced small talk. Or filler questions like, can I ask you a question? Shotgun rule, for example.
A shotgun rule is not pointless. If you shout shotgun, you are a claim to that. Do you know where that comes from, by the way?
I don't actually.
I don't know what era it was. The old days, let's just say. When people used to ride their horse and carts, they used to, obviously with highwaymen and stuff, they used to get robbed all the time. So somebody would ride shotgun, which meant they would ride next to them with an actual shotgun to help them. So that's
cool.
riding shotgun. Yeah.
Nice.
There's a pointless.
But there are rules about claiming shotgun. You can't just go shotgun. You have to visibly see the vehicle before you can call shotgun.
Yeah, some people say you have to see it, and some people say you have to touch it.
No, see it.
Yeah, but yeah, you can't just call shotgun and be like 6 miles away. I called shotgun on the 12th of February.
2029. Yeah.
But yeah. Did I give a number for that?
No.
What have I got left? I got 1, 2, 3.
You've got 1, 3,
7?
4, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6.
1, 3, 4, 6. 3. I think that would be quite an interesting thing to do.
Yeah, I think there'll be some pointless rules that you suddenly go, actually, that is a pointless rule. I want to get rid of that one. And other ones you'd be like, I want to add a pointless rule. Yeah.
One pointless rule: that billionaires and influencers get free stuff when they can afford it.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Give the free stuff to the people that can't afford it.
Yeah. Job role number 8. Head of pillow ergonomics. Determine the correct number of pillows for optimal life performance.
What have I got? 1,
1,
4, and
4, and 6.
1, 4, and 6. Let's go 4, because I quite like that, because pillows are quite important.
Been on the Mac too much. Keep doing the Mac shortcut. Cool. Okay. Job role number 9.
Hang on. Just going back to pillows. Sorry.
Yeah.
Weird fact. I don't know if anybody else does this, but I like shoulder barge my pillow. So we'll be
so it like it's kind of that.
Then it kind of like curves up the headboard because I've shoulder barged it so much. So I'm kind of like being cocooned by a pillow.
How many pillows do you have?
2, but it depends on the height.
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So if I go to a hotel and they're fucking massive pillows, and I normally just use one, and always put a pillow between my legs when I sleep.
Are you a side sleeper?
Yeah. Well, I have to be, because I snore
Right.
a lot. and I get hit in the back if I'm facing inwards.
Yes. No, I'm a two-pillar person as well. I have been to, like, and I know what you mean, but I have stayed in a Premier Inn recently, and the thing that annoyed me most about it was that the pillows were pathetically small. So even with two, it was like, what is this? And then they only provided two for the double bed. I was like, this is weird. Normally you get like 47 pillows and I have to throw half of them off. And then they also tucked the duvet in so tightly that you get in, you're like, you're trying to fight.
You just don't have the leg capacity to like pull it off.
No. Me and Swanee have had this discussion quite a few times about the tucking in of duvets at hotels, because with Going Squad, we travelled to several of hotels and it was like, right, which hotel tucks the duvet in the strongest?
There was this hotel in Berlin. I can't remember. I think it's called Urban Loft or something. It's near Central Station. And I don't know what their pillows are made of, but I think it's just air, because when you put your head on it, honestly, it makes this noise. It goes... and you're like, why? Why is this even a pillow? And it's just like a deflating, bouncy castle going around your head.
Oh, dear.
Not fun.
Not fun what you want. Yeah, it's amazing how... pillows should be fairly consistent, and it's amazing how wrong they get it. I'm going to ask a question now. Did your wife had a pregnancy pillow?
Right here. It is the comfiest thing you can ever lie on.
Yes.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
Should come out of the bathroom and I'll just be led on the bed, just with a pregnancy pillow.
We treat our wonderful women very well. Job role number 9: sarcasm licensing officer. Issue and revoke sarcasm privileges. 1. I think if anybody's watched the previous pods, they know I am sarcastic. So that is, for me, number 1, please. Excellent. So your number 4, and the last job role, is queue management futurist. Eliminate awkward waiting forever. Oh, I'm happy with that. Yeah, that is a fairly good one. I am happy with that. I told you I had just some completely random job roles. I just... Well, yeah, I saw the brief and I just saw it'll blow your mind or something, and I was like, what has Dom done? Well, I was either going to blow your mind in a good or a bad way. I think it was a mixture way where you're like, where is he come up with this crap? So some of them, like the traffic analysis. I'm sure that's a job, right? That is a job role. I think you'll find that is a job role. Yeah. I don't think it would be specifically for traffic lights, but there absolutely is. There is mathematics and science behind designing roads, which is why it frustrates me when I come down a road and I think, who the fuck's designed this? If you do a maths degree, there is a traffic behaviourist in terms of doing that, because and all of mine comes from playing things like it's not SimCity. It's not SimCity. It's another one. Sims. No, there is one that is all about managing the traffic, and there's a guy on YouTube called Bifter that goes and sorts people's traffic out in their big cities, and he calls it about lane mathematics, right? It's all about if you've got a 3-lane highway and you take 1 lane off and you make this 2 lanes, and then you bring a lane on and you make it 3 lanes, that make it 3 lanes again. That's within the game that solves so many traffic problems, because so many people just go, I've got loads of traffic, so they just add more lanes, and it's not necessarily the right thing. It's all about getting the lane maths right. And I think that's, to be honest, when I look at some of the junctions we design, it's exactly the same as what you should be doing here, right? You don't need 17 lanes on a roundabout. Sometimes you just need 3, but as 1 lane goes off, you should then minimise the lanes and shift people out 1. And then as that lane comes on, you do the same, so you get a nice crossover, and it's easy to do that. And the amount I'm sure you've had it before, where you've come up to a roundabout and you've gone, there's 4 lanes on the roundabout, and you're like, well, I want like the third exit, and there's 4 exits on here. So which fucking lane do I need to be in?
I have a rule for this. I divide the amount of exits by the amount of lanes, so then you know which lane to use for which exit. I don't know whether that's like valid or not.
In theory, that would be right.
Yeah.
But there'll be the odd roundabout. You're like, the fuck is this?
Yeah. I mean, also, like, on the floor, they normally have, like, the arrows, and also they might have the road that you're meant to be on.
Yeah.
2 things. 1, I don't have a fucking clue what road I'm meant to be on. I'm following the sat-nav. The sat-nav is telling me. Right, so tell me on the floor, first, second, third, fourth exit, right?
See, I always said that as well.
Don't tell me the A303 or the A36, just tell me which exit. 2, don't fucking put it on the floor right at the roundabout entrance.
Oh, yeah. They need
Please
to be
put it back a
little bit earlier.
Exactly.
Because I found that they don't put it early enough, because one of 2 things will often happen. 1, I'm in the wrong lane, I notice it, and I haven't got enough time to make a decision to get across. 2, they're queuing so much that you don't know you're in the wrong lane until you're at the roundabout and you think, well, tits.
Yeah, because the cars are covering up the fucking floor. Yeah.
In fact, today I was going into Castle Point in Bournemouth, and I was in the wrong lane to do what I wanted to do. So I went all the way. Fortunately, it's slightly too far right. So I just went all the way around a roundabout. I probably looked a bit silly because I wanted to go straight on, but I couldn't because I was one lane too far. So I went all the way around like that. Every single road, somebody pulled out in front of me because they weren't expecting me to do it. Like, what are you morons doing? Look at what I'm doing as a direction.
Yeah, there are some idiots on the road. I don't know if you know the as you head from Jovial to Ilminster, you go towards the Ilminster bypass, and you've got two lanes, and then there's 4 exits on that round. 1, 2, 3, 5 exits on that round.
5 exits on that one, yeah.
The first one goes to somewhere I don't know. Never been down that road.
It goes to a service station. It goes to a Costa Coffee, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the second, and towards the back road to Ilminster.
Yes.
And then you got the Ilminster bypass, and then Peverton, and so on. You never knew which lane you had to go in to go to the Ilminster bypass. Like, you wouldn't know if you had to go in the left lane, the right lane. They've now very clearly labelled it. Like, plenty of time labelled it, everything. People still do it wrong.
Do wrong. Yes.
And do you know what annoys me more? Is HGV drivers that do it wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're professionals of the road.
Yeah, because they've changed that now, haven't they? It's not... Because I used to be in the left-hand lane, even though you're going further than 180.
Straight on, yeah.
Yeah, which is again, it was confusing. I was like, yeah. I used to just make sure that I've got nobody around me, so I'm going in the diagonal. Standard defensive driving from advanced driving is never go side by side, always be like that. So if they suddenly drift, you've got time, or if you need to drift, you've got time to slot in.
Yeah.
But now they've made it right-hand lane to go that way, and people still get it wrong.
yeah, and it's so annoying, and I honestly think, whilst we're on a rant about roads, I honestly think the heavier your vehicle, the more severe the fine should be. So let's say, for example, you're using your mobile whilst driving.
Right, yeah, I see what you mean. Yes,
if you're in a car, it should be less of a fine to if you're in a HGV. Because a HGV, the damage that can be caused compared to a car is less.
Yeah, I have a slight counter on that.
Ooh.
And I think this is applicable for all offences on the road. It should be based upon the... I think it's either Swedish or Norwegian way of doing it, and it's based on your income. So, for example...
a percentage of fines rather than fixed.
So people in London will... Park on a double yellow line because they'll get £100 fine, which is an hour's work for
David
them.
Beckham got caught recently.
Yeah. Whereas if it's suddenly like, no, it's a £4,000 fine because it's a percentage of your wealth, right? or whatever it is, they might be like, oh, maybe I won't do this anymore.
Exactly. But if you're in an Audi, a BMW, or a Range Rover, enjoy your free pass for everything. You get to do whatever you want. It's fine. Don't worry about the rest of us. We know you get that card when you buy the car.
I say this as someone who doesn't drive any of those either.
Yeah, me too. Although I do want a Range Rover.
I don't. I really don't.
Oh, I like them. A Defender. A Defender.
A proper Range Rover. Like an off-roader. Yes, I want a proper off-roader. Yeah. I'll stick to my new big ugly SUV that I've currently got.
What have you got?
I've got a Skoda Elrock. I have an electric
Is
car.
that the electric one?
Yeah.
Is it nice? Because we did look at those.
So, it is lovely to drive. It is amazing. It is rear-wheel drive. I have, just to warn you, I may have accidentally got it sideways around a roundabout because I forgot that it's rear-wheel drive and spanked it. But fortunately, I've done a fair amount of advanced driving, so I was like, "Oh, I've got to do this." I'm driving that way round a roundabout, and I've got to turn the other way. Range is an interesting thing.
Okay.
So I have the smaller battery. It's a 60 kilowatt battery. Which on the WLTP gets you 240 miles.
Right.
But that assumes 15 degrees, no air conditioning,
right.
etc., etc. And so I have now driven it to Cornwall and back, which is about 180 miles. I had stopped twice. So the 80 miles... Yeah. So the 80 miles from my house to Exeter was I used about 80 miles of range. I'd like to point out it was about 5 degrees and it was raining, so actually I was quite happy with that. I think I averaged about 3.2 kilowatts, 3.2 miles per kilowatt. So 3.2 miles on a 60 kilowatt battery is 180 miles. 3.2, you kind of get the idea. But that was like cross country to Exeter. The Exeter to Cornwall services is 70 miles, but it's undulating over the Bodmin Moor, and it's a dual carriageway at 70 miles an hour. In those 70 miles, I used 138 miles of range. I took the battery from 80% to 12, and I averaged just over, I think I averaged 2.2 kilowatts. 2.2 miles per kilowatt. So range is a real thing. It then took an hour to charge at Cornwall because there were other people there, so I only got like 30 I think I got 30 kilowatts per
you got the slower charge.
Just slower charge. Whereas at Exeter I charged at 150 kilowatts and it did the whole thing in 11 minutes. So by the time I'd gone into services, had a wee and come out, I was like, well, I've got like 4 minutes left, I might as well go and browse the shop.
It's a long fucking wee.
The electric car chargers were like 2 minutes the other side, so yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
And then you got navigate. Anyway, range is a big thing. I have one regret. The one regret is I got talked out of getting a heat pump. I should have got the air heat pump as part of that because that would have made
car.
Yes. Because that would have kept the heating requirements significantly less. Because at the moment it's just heating through electric. So as soon as you put the temperature on like even just 19 degrees or even 18 degrees, the battery range just drops. I turned it off at one point and I literally gained 40 miles. So I regret not doing that. My hope is that by the time I come to renew the lease in 4 years' time, the 85 kilowatt battery will kind of be the bog standard and there'll be like a 120 kilowatt battery on the upper model. But the 85 kilowatt battery added 10 grand to the car. I couldn't justify spending that much on it.
In 4 years' time, Dom,
yeah,
electric cars aren't going to be a thing because the government slapped too much of a fucking tax on them.
Yeah, all that, yes. Yeah, don't get me started about the tax in 2028. So yeah, it's once you get over the range anxiety and you learn to drive it, it's a lovely, lovely car. It's amazing for like my new journeys to Taekwondo. Even my old journeys to Taekwondo would be fine as well. But now it's like, I've got a 9-mile journey. I can do that over sort of 5-6 weeks. And then I've just had solar panels literally installed 4 days ago. When I've got the
Just to clarify, we are talking about your house has solar panels, not your car.
Yeah, the house has solar panels. So currently, to fully charge at home, it's like £8 to fully charge the car. But with the solar panels, if they're generating, and I generated yesterday something stupid like 100 kilowatts, I sent 98. I didn't charge the car yesterday, but I sent 98 of those to the grid. Yeah. When it's sunny, this will generate a lot.
And how much are they paying you per kilowatt?
They're not at the moment, but it'll be up to 25 pence per. It's not per kilowatt. It's 25 pence per something else.
Right. Are they not because it's paying back?
No, so it's because I'm not signed up yet. So it's too soon. Like, it's only been 4 days. Long story. Basically, when you get solar panels installed, you get there's several different bits that you need to kind of get with that. So you'll get what they call a SEG certificate, solar energy generation certificate.
Yeah.
Once you have that, then you have to go and apply to. You can actually do it to a separate provider to your current energy provider. So, for example, if I was with EDF and I could set up my SEG with British Gas, for example, or you can do it in one tariff. So I'm just currently switching my tariff, A, because I don't have an EV tariff, and B, because I want to set up what's called the SEG, solar energy generation.
Who are you switching to?
I've switched to British Gas because my solar panels are with SunSave, which is done by Hive, which is owned by British Gas. So I'm just bringing them. I get an extra 25% off electricity because of that, which is quite a significant amount of money.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Fair.
So, and then the next thing I've got to do, which is going to sound weird, is I've got to buy a new oven because my oven is a gas hob gas cooker. So why am I spaffing away gas when I get solar energy for electric? So that's going to be my new purchase.
Do you have a boiler, central heating?
I still do have central heated boiler. That's the
so
only
you
thing.
Still got gas?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But every little helps.
True. Yeah, true.
And also I'll just run oil radiators from the electric rather than from the central heating every now and then, rather than putting the central heating on because it's cheaper.
Fair. So, for everybody listening, what we've learnt from this is Dom puts up shelves with a crowbar and he uses oil heaters.
Yeah.
He also is Amish as well.
I haven't got the beard to be Amish. Actually, it's looking a bit thin.
You can't have a beard. You are not married.
It's true. I'm very unlikely to ever be married.
You can only have a beard if you are married. That's a fact.
Oh, if I'm Amish, yeah. If I'm Amish.
Oh, yeah. Not just in general life.
Yeah. I'm looking at my beard. It's looking a bit thin. Or maybe I did the guard. I did it today, but maybe I had the guard on the wrong thing. I'm looking a bit.
Yeah.
You look always particularly bushy. It's fine.
I know. I haven't.
And your beard looks great.
Yeah. I haven't been to the barbers for a few weeks.
Oh dear. But there you go. There are my mad job titles.
Nice. I enjoyed that. That was good.
Cool. I'm conscious of time because I don't want to keep you too long. So I'm going to skip we'll come to the conspiracy theories when we've got other people on because we're going to have a debate about those.
We need Jerry back for the conspiracy theories.
I'm interested because we talked a little bit about your ADHD diagnosis, which I think, which I spoke to somebody from the previous podcast and they said this is my favourite bit. I want to ask, as somebody with ADHD, does the prongs on the fork that I will put on screen for everybody make you uncomfortable with the size of the prongs that they are?
No, not at all. For me, it's spoons.
Spoons, okay.
Like, I don't know if you. It actually went viral on TikTok not long back, but it seems that some people with ADHD really have a fascination for spoons, and you admire a nice spoon. And there are some nice spoons out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, generally prongs on forks don't bother me. I think more annoying for me is knives. When you have knives, butter knives that are like have like small teeth on the front that don't actually do anything.
Yeah, I don't understand.
That's annoying.
I don't understand the point of having like a serrated edge on a buttered knife.
What do you mean?
That's what the small teeth are, serrated edge.
Yeah, but there's always serrated edge on a butter knife.
Not on that one, there isn't.
Hold on, am I thinking of the right thing? A general knife in your cutlery drawer that you use to eat your dinner, that's called a butter knife, right?
Yes, yeah.
So that's why you need serrated, because otherwise you won't cut anything.
I've had butter knives that don't have serrated edges.
Why is there serration on knives?
Yeah, why is there serration on butter knives? Because there isn't serration on your normal knives that you cut chicken with. They're just very sharp.
So this is just going back to my foodie days. There is actually, I don't know if you've ever seen on some knives, they do have dents in them, like not perforations, but like just indents going up the knife, and that's to stop suction. So if you were to cut into something, generally, even chicken, if you cut in chicken, it will stick to the knife.
Yeah, it'll go like that.
But with that like dip that's in there, it allows air to get in there to allow it not to stick. So you get a better slice and a better cut.
I suppose you probably need that for saws, because that was the biggest when we were trying to hack a pipe in half, is that the pipe just bends into the saw, and then it's fucking give me the, or chopping down a tree or something like that, which is what I've done.
Yeah. There you go.
I sent this to a quote, like most of those people with well, I think the quote was, hang on, right, I'm gonna really bring it right. I've got a chat room, which with some friends, and one of them put in, and it's just a T-shirt that says, "First of all, I'm a delight," which is quite a common phrase from this person, from Steph. Okay. Right? She's like, "First of all, I'm a delight," and my most common phrase is, "First of all, bullshit." And then she sent another T-shirt which has a frog doing this.
Okay.
And it says, "I may," for audio listeners, I stuck up my middle finger. "I may have a touch of the tism." Right. However, in that chat room, I'm about 3/4 of the people are neurospicy in some way or another. And I wrote, "I'm not sure that a few people in here have a touch of the tism. Some people are absolutely bathed in it, so much so that they could glow in the dark. They actually put their mind to it. And others are so many adda-hadders that they could go down the local music studio and form a goddamn orchestra. And some of them have such a large concoction of both that if we synthetically created it, it would be classed as a weapon of mass destruction and illegal in 47 countries." So when I sent that fork to them, one of the gifts that I did get back was that.
Oh, damn!
And unfortunately, I don't describe that to our audio listeners, but two people that have said that they are on this the autistic spectrum have said, actually, it's not the prongs or the spokes that annoyed them most. It is the size of the handle of the fork. It's very small, very thin.
Hold on, I'm getting the thing up again. I'm just going to my Google Drive because I need to revisit this. Because it never didn't. So they're saying it's too long.
The handle is too thin.
Oh yeah, okay. Thin handles and cutlery is annoying.
It is quite a thin handle on the cutlery now I look at it, but the prongs are like this, almost the same length. It's 2/3 to 3/4 the length of the knife. Of the knife head.
Also looks really fat.
What, the fork? Yeah.
Yeah, the head of the fork just looks massively fat compared to the rest of the fork.
Yeah. That was the
Did
fork
you
I had at
take?
the...
Is this a picture you actually took?
Yeah. This is a picture. This is a knife and fork that I took, that I got given when I was at a Premier Inn earlier this week.
My next question for you is, why is your wallet made out of carbon fiber?
It's not carbon fiber. It's a design. But yes, I have a carbon fiber looking wallet. There's nothing wrong with my wallet.
Do you break wallets often that you now need a carbon fiber one?
Oh dear. I thought I'd be ridiculed for my wallet at some point. What you can't see is the interior is the same color as is orange. Like,
It's
and
orange.
Not, yes, it's orange. Well, hang on a minute. I'm going to say this with the caveat. I think it's orange, but I'm colourblind, so who fucking knows?
Yeah, send me a picture. I'll let you
It
know.
could be green.
Nice.
So, anyway, on to a little bit more serious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about this, and I know you well enough that you won't get offended by the question.
Yeah.
Being actually diagnosed doesn't actually change, like, you in your mind in terms of, like, or doesn't physically change anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But does it have a difference? Does it make a difference?
So this is something I battled with for quite a while, because I always need to know why is something happening, and I always kind of wanted to be like, well, why do I want to get diagnosed with ADHD? Like, what is it that's making me seek this out when for 30 odd years I've just been me, right? And I think what it does is it stops the labels of you're lazy, you're too much, you're an overthinker, all of these kind of things. And it just gives you that label of actually you've got ADHD. So that's one of probably the biggest differences is you stop thinking I mean, I still think it to this day. Like when I don't do something, I'll say, I'll do that later. I still think, I'll just stop being fucking lazy and do it. No, it's just because I'm doing something now, I'll do it later. But for us, later never comes.
Yeah.
Later is not a concept.
Damn you,
of
past
time.
James.
Yeah, exactly. And the moment I've said that sentence, I'll do it later, my brain will instantly forget that was ever a task item that I have to do. So yeah, it kind of just, it removes those labels and just actually gives a reason to why you are the way you are, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I'm just always curious. I never quite know how to phrase it, but like, because I've had friends that are like, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not bothered getting diagnosed, and I'm like, does the diagnosis do something different, or I mean, maybe it opens up other opportunities in terms of medication and support. I don't know, but
Yeah, exactly. So for me, I actually had a very fast diagnosis. So a lot of people are waiting years, but it took me like 6 months to get diagnosed. Like, so if anybody's listening, and you're thinking about getting diagnosed or going down that route, go to your doctor with the right to choose. So that means that you can literally say, I found this provider, this vendor, and I want them to be the people who will assess me for ADHD. And it's called the Right to Choose program, and the doctor will then refer, and they won't question it, they won't query it, they'll just refer you, and then you'll get that. And I chose a company called Care ADHD, and they were very good. They were very communicative along the way, and yeah, 6 months it took me to get the diagnosis. I had a call, and they asked me loads of questions, and then a day later I got the report, and I can't remember what the points are, but there's certain points. So you've got two types of ADHD. You've got the inattentive ADHD, and then you got the hyperactive ADHD, and I'm quite high on both.
Nice.
Which is very contradictory because how can you be inattentive but also hyperactive? So that's also very confusing. So one thing that has happened for me is that my life, I would say, has got harder because of the diagnosis, and I've been doing research around this, and apparently, so ADHD is all around your nervous system, right? And regulating of your nervous system. And what happens is that when you get diagnosed, your brain then says, well, this is the reason why. I don't need to mask anymore. I don't need to provide you solutions anymore. And it will just stop. And then everything that you masked before, everything that you had kind of like ways of working, just don't happen anymore. So then your life becomes a little bit harder. I'm still waiting for titration, so medication, to be assessed and stuff for that. It is probably a route I'm going to go down, because just going back to the reason why I wanted to know, it isn't just about like understanding why I am who I am, but it's also around like problems in my life I need to resolve. Memory is a big one. Like I said, like if I have something and I'm not connected with what's being said, it'll just fuck off. Even though if it's something really even if it's something really fucking important that I need to remember, it will just go instantly. And so when people are like, oh, I'll just write that down, or I'll put that in my notes app or whatever, I can't, because it's gone. Unless I do it literally within that millisecond, it is gone. So that's one of the things I want to go forward with, to say, hey, like, this is an issue for me. I want to try and resolve this, and see if medication can be a solution for that. Because the other thing, I don't know if anybody listening to this might ring true to you. I can read. I'm not saying I can't read. But reading a book is very difficult for me. Reading an article is very difficult for me, which is also very weird, because my previous job, I looked after documentation. But I was more strategy than I was technical writer. And for me, if I can read a sentence over and over and over and over again, and it does not resonate, I could not tell you what it means. I could not tell you what I just read or anything. I could tell you they were just words that I just read. And some people who've been on medication can now read books and read things and have that focus and that way to be able to translate those words into your brain and stuff. So that for me is going to be a big thing as well. Especially in the sector I'm in, which is learning. So if anybody doesn't know, I'm in private education. I train people on using SAS software. And I think I'm very good at it because of my ADHD, because I'm always like bam, 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 like that, trying to find solution, trying to find that connection with how to get this complex topic to their use case, etc. But when it comes to e-learning, it's one of my struggles. E-learning is so difficult, because having to read those pages and all of that is just becomes quite difficult.
I mean, it can be a good thing, right? We were talking about this. I was talking about this the other day, that making adjustments in any way in terms of society for people that have a disability benefits society. So an obvious example, right? I'll go into it. So for example, like adding a ramp for wheelchair users benefits those that have broken their leg and need to use crutches, or benefits users that are tired and can't deal with stairs, or it just benefits society, and that making things more accessible for those people. So e-learning is a really good example. We all have to do code of conducts, GDPR training at our places, etc. So making those friendly for those with ADHD would benefit those that don't have ADHD, because they'll be in a format that people like, they might be tired on that day, they might have been up half the night with kids, they may be trying to do this in 5 minutes between meetings, because that's all the time that they get. It is a significant, which is why I don't think it is a bad thing at all when they go, more people are being diagnosed with autism and ADHD, it's being recognised more, and so we need to change. And they're like, we don't want to change society. And I'm like, don't be fucking ridiculous. I want you to change society, so hopefully it becomes easier, because I don't have ADHD, I don't have autism. Nobody would ever tell me that I'm not neurospicy, I think is the term that would do that. But as I'm clinically diagnosed with OCD, I have a slightly different one. Yeah. Anything to make life a little bit easier I just think is beneficial, right? Because it means 100%. That, and it's not about the fact that I want to be lazy, it's the fact that there's a limited capacity in it, right? So this is going to sound really dumb. One of the things
I know exactly what you're going to say.
One of the things that I've done is that I've changed the amount of I've changed my t-shirts, right? I literally have Gymshark t-shirts or these t-shirts, which are by True Classic, really comfortable and they fit me really well. I literally just have those two types of t-shirts and that's it, because then I don't have to make a decision about what I'm going to wear each day. That's it. Just crack on with it.
Yes, and that's exactly the same with ADHD as well, is that you only have certain sorry, bear with me.
The boy awake?
I think he's going back to sleep. Yeah, you only have a certain amount of capacity in your day to be able to make decisions. Mm-hmm. And with people with ADHD, I think it's a lot less as well, because of how much energy it takes for each decision, especially when you come across something called decision paralysis. And it could just be two things you're choosing between. And it is fucking difficult. Like, I'm just trying to think of an example that, for me, when I was away for work, I had a choice of either going to the end of week party or just going out for a quiet meal with some of the team. And at that moment, I wanted to go out with some of the team. One, I fell asleep on the sofa, so missed that opportunity. But also, I was overthinking everything. I was thinking, what are the pros and cons of each of these, and what would be the most beneficial, and what would be the outcome and the consequences if I went to one and not the... Like, you think this. And by that time that I'd thought of all of those things, it was time to go to the party anyway, so I just went to the fucking party. Like, but it's that decision paralysis. But then the hyperactive side that is that... If I see something novelty in a shop, if it's a couple of quid, I'm buying it. Fine, fuck it, whatever. Like one Christmas, Ribena bought out mulled wine Ribena or something, or mulled wine tasting Ribena. Fucking bought that straight away. Hate it. Don't even like mulled wine, but I saw it. I was like, this is cool. Bought it. But if I was to buy something like, I don't know, a drawing tablet, for example. I spent months because it was more money than kind of like what I would just impulsively spend. So I spend months researching it. No, I don't need this and all of this. So if anybody does have ADHD, one of my top tips is I don't know what other people call it, but I call it the checkout method. Put it in your basket, leave it. Because if you're thinking about it 2 days later, a week later, chances are you probably want to buy it. If you forget about it, it was an impulse buy that you were just about to do. And generally, if you do also wait, you sometimes do get emails with discounts as well.
Yeah. So like, we've noticed that this is in your basket. Would you like a 20% off? Like, yes, please.
Exactly.
Now it will be an impulse buy. Yeet.
Exactly. Yeah. So just going back to an earlier question as well, like, I feel like I am relearning myself all over again. Like what? Why is my brain working the way it is? How can I solve for that? And how can I put in solutions and stuff?
Yeah. The reason why I ask is because actually when I got my OCD diagnosis, it changed fuck all for me. But because I was like, they were like, yes, you've got this, and I was like, great. And now what? Like, is there a cure for it? Nope. Crack on. All right, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 16 years ago now. when I got that, and perhaps mental health and that lot wasn't quite understood quite as much. I'm sure now when I've mentioned to therapists, they're like, "Fucking hell, why are you not doing anything about this?" And I'm like, "Well, because they told me just to crack on with life." And they're like, "No, you should have a little bit more support than that, mate." I'm like, "Cool, thanks. Oh, I think I'm doing okay." So it's fine, it's whatever.
And we shouldn't think like this, but it's also social validation as well. Like and I say if anybody comes to me and says I have ADHD and they haven't been diagnosed by a professional, it doesn't make a fucking difference to me. You know your brain, you know the symptoms of ADHD. If they link up, chances are you probably got ADHD, right?
Yep.
But there seems to still be this stigma that unless you haven't been diagnosed by a professional...
You've got a sticky label on your forehead.
Exactly. You don't get access to support. You get kind of like looked at like, oh, just, self-diagnosing kind of thing. So, yeah, it shouldn't be that way. But I suppose part of my brain was kind of like, I don't want to be going to people saying, oh, I think I've got ADHD. I want to go, oh, no, I've been diagnosed with ADHD, because I don't want them to look at me like...
Laminate the piece of paper.
You just, fucking put it in a massive frame, billboard it.
Yeah. I'm conscious, obviously, that your son might be awake.
He's fine at the moment.
I'm curious, has it changed any... Because you got the diagnosis before he was born? Or
no, after he was born.
Did it change any of your approach?
I think having him made me realise more that I'm struggling in life.
Okay.
I think. Obviously, I don't regret him. Love him, but it is difficult. And I think having ADHD and a child, and anybody who doesn't know, so at the beginning it wasn't easy going.
No.
He was screaming on every single bottle. He just didn't want to accept anything. It was literally a cycle of he would wake up, we'd feed him, and we were instantly trying to get him back to sleep so he would just be soothed. We came to realise he has a very severe cow milk allergy, so nice. He can't have any milk protein or anything like that at all. And I think you get told, sleep when the baby sleeps. Anybody listening who's having a baby, that is fucking bullshit. You do not sleep when the baby sleeps, because when the baby's sleeping, you've got all the fucking other stuff in the house you need to be doing, because you haven't done it because you've been looking after a newborn baby. But with ADHD, I'm going down the autism route as well. I'm starting to explore that side, because sometimes I can be very black and white as a person. Like, if this is the way it's meant to be, this is the way it's meant to be. And I think, when I feel like a scenario should go a certain way and it doesn't, I get very frustrated. And obviously, babies aren't fucking textbook as you want them to be. It's been challenging. I've learned a lot about myself. But when you see him and he smiles at you, and he's now walking, he's blowing kisses, he's waving.
Move everything up like 3 shelves.
Oh, mate, honestly, you do not know how many hazards you have in your house until they start opening those fucking cupboards. And you're like, yeah. You're like, let's not be doing that, pal. He does this thing. So on this wall, we've got a TV unit, and underneath there, we've put some of his toys in the TV unit. He gets the toys out and he starts playing with them on the TV unit, which we don't let him do, because we don't want him to damage the TV or whatever. So he has his space where he can play, and literally the whole fucking living room. And he's got a corner over there with all of his toys. But what he does, and one day I hope you're watching this, he will get the toy out of the cupboard, play with it on the unit, and then he'll do this. He'll look at you and go, and you're like, you little shit. you know what you're doing. You know you shouldn't be doing that, but you're looking at me with that look of, discipline me then. Go on. Go on. I'm an angel. Discipline me. But yeah, so yeah.
I imagine your wife is bad cop.
No.
really?
She, I don't know actually.
Actually, having known both of you, I think that you probably are both very fair and even parents.
I would.
And your son's probably not quite old enough to be at proper discipline yet.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't understand like right and wrong and all of that, and he's in his toddler era where he's having fucking tantrums all the time and all of this at the moment. But I would say we're kind of both at times. There's times where he just does stuff and you just can't help but laugh.
Yeah, that's
what
what
like,
I got talking
about.
about.
I should be telling you off right now, but my God. But when he's ill, all he wants is my wife. Like that's the only person he wants. Like, so we went on a cruise for his first birthday because fuck, are we having a party for other people? Like, we're going on a cruise. And bless him, on his actual birthday, he got COVID. So he had fever, he was vomiting, like, poor lad.
Rough.
Yeah, and all he wanted was Kirsty. That was it. Like, he didn't want me. I would hold him and he would just scream. Kirsty would take him and he would just be silent. But he was in her for 9 months. He knows her heartbeat, he knows her smell, he knows her comfort and all of this. So, I mean, it's not nice when I'm there sleeping and she's having to deal with him all night. But we try and balance things out as much as we can on that aspect.
That's all you can do. It's interesting. Speaking to Swanee, his daughter is the opposite. Like, and bearing in mind that Swanee's wife is there all the time, but actually as soon as Swanee walks in the room, it's ditch everything, just whatever they've done all day, and it's daddy's here. Like, I want to go with daddy. So
wow.
I don't know whether it's a gender thing. I don't know whether it's it could be completely random in the way that it is. So
could be. I mean, Kirsty's been with him for 13 months every single day, so he's got that bond, doesn't he? Whilst I've been coming and going and going to work and stuff and everything.
Yeah. No, it's so cool. Right.
Yeah.
I'm conscious of time and
we can carry on.
Well, I haven't got much more unless you wanted to do some of the stuff. I really wanted to keep this short and sweet and do bits and pieces. So, the last thing we always do, Hooper, what are your final thoughts? Is that a good idea to say someone diagnosed with ADHD? What are your final thoughts?
Do I have final thoughts? What are my final thoughts? All I'm thinking right now is sleep. After him crying for 4 hours last night, I just want sleep. My final thoughts are: don't let Dom create job titles. That's probably one of them. And do you know? Whenever I think of this podcast, all I ever think is Jerry not liking fruit in savoury food. And how quickly we fucking debunked that.
Coronation chicken. My two favourite things were when you backed him right into a corner with Coronation Chicken. I know you could see him be like, I'm okay, shut up. I'm gonna get my fists up. Like, back with the corner. The other one was one of the early Blindly ranks where the first one was set at 10. And he ended up with just one left, as in the number one left, and it was something like boiled egg, with all these gorgeous foods before it. It completely screwed him over.
But he should have known you were going to do that. So more for him.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have any final thoughts, Dom. My mind is blank. It's my final thoughts is, if you're thinking about ADHD, and I think I've become a huge advocate for it, because obviously now being diagnosed and stuff, and realizing what can change. Nothing's changed yet because I'm still quite early in the process, but what can change. If you're thinking about it, do it now. Just talk to your GP, get that process started, because then you're already in that process, right? Otherwise, if you don't start the process, it's never going to be a confirmation for you. And if anybody ever wants to talk about it, just hit me up. Like, I'm more than happy to kind of chat. But ADHD is a superpower, as much it is a hindrance on life sometimes. And just one last story is, in my interview for the job that I've got now, I actually told them I had ADHD. It was the first time I'd ever openly said in an interview, I've got ADHD, because the question was kind of like, you know, those generic questions, why do you think you'd be good for this role, blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. And I told them, got ADHD, and I'm always looking for the next solution, always looking for why things work, and how to like move things forward, and how to connect things, and all of this. And I got feedback that was one of the reasons why they were like, we need this guy, because we need how his brain works. And I was like, okay. So if you're thinking about ADHD, do it, learn about yourself. It's an incredible journey.
What I love about that is it shows two sides of things, which I like, which I think is the most prevalent thing, right? You were open and honest, and people went, I appreciate that he's been open and honest. And the second thing is that there'll always be someone out there that values what you bring to a position, even if you think that you're a bit nuts.
100% nuts.
Yeah. But it's the same way, I would never ask you to neatly stack and organise like a bookshelf or cutlery in a drawer, because not your thing. Me, on the other hand, I'm epic at it.
I can plan it for you, Dom. I can do all the planning and set out the milestones and everything. Fine. Doing it, different. I'll leave that with you.
Leave it to me. My final thoughts, as always, thank you so much for jumping in at like Operation Last Minute. It's very, very much appreciated. And actually, it's perfect based upon the feedback I got from the other podcast on some of our listeners. So I know that she will appreciate knowing someone else she's recently got diagnosed with it as well, and I've now seen her. She doesn't mask anymore, and I've now seen her in full flow. They did have a discussion, because Steph was going to go see her, and Steph said, oh, it's going to be nice and relaxing, and I went, I'm not sure that it's going to be relaxing if I went there, because it's like here, there, and everywhere. It's relaxing for you because you get to unmask and unwind, but I have to be a bit on my toes.
Yeah, I mean, to whoever that person is, if you're looking for a community to join, a friend and I have just started a group called ADHD Interrupted, and we have a Discord group, and we chat on there, and we have like little habit trackers and all of this kind of stuff, and we do like body doubling and everything. So if anybody ever wants that kind of community, we've got that going.
Nice. You have to plug it. I'll put it in the description if you send me that link tomorrow.
Will do, yeah, absolutely.
You'll forget. I'll send you a reminder.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, folks, I shall leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Hoops, thank you for being on. You are
Thank you for having me back.
A legend. Love you. And we will get you on again later this year. We've got some plans to have you back on. So we just need to find some times. But I'll share those later in the year when we get there. And we'll catch you.
Well, we've shown it can be done. We've shown it can be done. So
yeah, absolutely. Right, folks, we'll catch you on the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye.